All right, good. So we are in for lesson 3 of our topic, bearing. So this one is here, is our lesson 3. Now here we are going to start off with the scenarios. Of course, this is the new curriculum whereby we have to step in for scenarios or word problems, which are always very simple to do. Okay, now scenarios are more like the examples in this topic. In lesson 1 and 2, we got to know how we can, the types of bearings, and how we can go about drawing them, and what to strictly use is a protractor and a longo ruler. A compass here, we don't use a compass to construct angles, but instead we draw. Like I said, that a protractor is only used to draw angles, not to construct. Okay. Now I have this item 1, and we are going to go about it. We make our sketch. We said that in order to attempt a number of bearings, then what you begin with is you first of all make a sketch. Then that sketch, you go about getting us the unaccurate drawing. But unaccurate drawing comes when you have a right title there. All right, good. So you have this question that's saying town B is 20 kilometers due east of town A. Town B is 20 kilometers due east of town A. Okay, full stop. This is the full stop. Due east of town A, full stop. Town C is 25 kilometers from A on a bearing of south 30 degrees west. We got now, we draw this. South 30 degrees west, full stop. Using a scale of 1 centimeter to represent 5 kilometers. Here I've given us a scale. But another question they may not give you. You create yours. Okay. A scale of 1 centimeter, to represent 5 kilometers. Okay. Draw a diagram showing the 3 towns. Okay. So now let's begin with the sketch. So we shall say a title, a sketch, shall say a sketch drawing showing towns, town is A, comma, B, and C. All right, that's what you're going to begin with. A title is highly called for when it comes to the new curriculum. All right, so now we're going to start with our sketch. Now let's start off. They're saying town B is 20 kilometers due east of town A. Due east of town A. But what did we say? I said the word due in lesson 2. In lesson 2, I explained what the word due mean. Due means towards. This word due means towards. Means towards east. So in more like it is like town B is 20 kilometers towards east of town A. Towards east of town A. So east, the eastern, it is town B is on the eastern side of town A. So they say that town B is 20 kilometers towards, I said what do you mean is towards east of town A, meaning that what are we going to start with? The east of town A means that we start with town A itself. Then the east of that town A is how we find our town B. Okay, let's get a sketch. And please, I've apologized. I'll be using this to save time. But for you, you always use your long ruler to get the sketch done. Okay, so now let's begin with town A. Now I'll put it midway because I don't know how far it will go. I'll put it midway. I'll put it, this is just a sketch. I may not necessarily measure. Okay, so that is it. Now this is my town. This is my town A. Okay, like this. So don't forget the north. Put it there like that. The next, they are saying that town B is 20 kilometers due, but due means towards east of town A. So that is our town A. This one is our town A. Where is the eastern direction? The eastern direction is here. This is the east. This is the east. So towards due east of town A, meaning that when you come this side like this, when you move in the towards the east of town A like this, towards the east of town A like that, in front there is where you find the town B. Allow me to use that line so that you can see that when you move in that direction like that, it means that in front here is where you will find your town B. Now a sketch, you may not mind about what the distance is. So here is where you shall find our town B. All right, good. Okay. Like that. So this one here is still our north, and this is now our town B. Now what's the distance? The distance there is 20 kilometers. So here I'll put 20 kilometers. Please, the sketch takes the very units of the distances given in the question. Okay, good. So I've finished that. They're saying town C is 25 kilometers from A. Town C is 25 kilometers from A on a bearing of south 30 degrees east west. Now the word from A means that while standing at A. The word from A means while standing at A. So it means that we're going to stand at A and we take on this bearing. Now you first get a direction before you now look at the distance. So town C is 25 kilometers from A. So from A means that you can stand from A. Is from where that, which is the from that A that you shall now be able to get the distance, or rather the direction of town is C. So from A, so we go where A is. A is here. Okay, good. On a bearing of south 30 degrees west. On a bearing of south 30 degrees west. Remember, this one is your south. Allow me to put that. This is your south. Now you want to measure 30 degrees west, meaning that you're going to move in this order like that. In that order. So 30 degrees west, but remember, this whole area is 90, so the 30 can be in between there. So you don't measure, please. Here you don't measure, you just draw. But reasonably, because you know that 30 is less than 90, so 30 can be in this area. So therefore, south 30 degrees west, it will be somewhere here. So like this, like that. Whereby, here like this, it is a 30 degrees. That is our 30 degrees. Hope you can be able to see that. Now, in front this side, this one here is 25 kilometers. Here you don't measure. Okay, now in front here is where you shall find our town C. In front here is where you shall find our town C. So we shall find our town C. All right, good. Okay, don't always forget this north, like that, north. Now that is our town C. The distance from A to B to C is 25. Distance from here to here is 20 kilometers, and that is our sketch. Now, after getting the sketch, please always go and respect the scale. So let's go now to the conversion, scale conversion. We got the scale conversion. We change the units given to us up to the units we want. Scale conversion, what have they said? Okay, I'll remove this. Scale conversion, what have they said? They're saying 1 centimeter represents 1 kilometer. Rather, 1 centimeter represents 5 kilometers. So therefore, I'll come and say distance AB. So distance AB is equal to 20 kilometers. Now, in order 20 kilometers, like that. But to convert them into centimeters, what do you do? This will be the same as 20. Now you divide by what 1 centimeter represents. 1 centimeter represents 5. You divide them. Okay, divide by 5 there. So that will be 5 is equal to 20 divided by 5. This will give us 4 centimeters. Okay. Then I'm seeing here SC. SC, scale conversion. SC is, all right, 25 divided by 5. I've gone direct here. Divide by 5, that will give us a 5 centimeters on our, okay, our sketch. So now from there, we shall now go to the accurate drawing. But please, you need to measure. You need to measure from here. You need to measure this, like this. You need to measure from here, like this. Okay, good. Then, what I'm going to do now is to have our accurate drawing. All right. That's our sketch. Let's now go to the accurate drawing. All right, good. So let's proceed. Let us proceed. Okay, good. Now realize that this is our sketch. Now we need an accurate drawing. So shall I say now an accurate, a title is called for an accurate drawing, showing, showing the, okay, showing the town is A, comma B, and C. Please, the title comes from the question I've asked. It's not that you have to always frame it like that. You can frame it another way, so long as you're talking about the three towns, still no problem. Okay, good. Now, we have to start off now. You always look at your sketch. You may choose to begin from anywhere you want, but we always say begin from a point where you see that it is a bit simpler there. Like for me, personally, I'll begin from point A. I'll begin from point A, and then the sketch tells you, I think point A must be that we are moving in that direction, then from there, we come backwards like this. So where you are staging your point A, don't again put your point A at the margin here because it will be off the page. So plan your point A very well. Plan your point A. Now point A, where are you? Point A. I'll put it midway here such that it can go this side and it can as well go this side. Now to draw this compass, please, what I forgot is that please, this work must be done on a graph paper. This work must be done on a graph paper, please. This work must be done on a graph paper. Why? It's because the graph paper enables you draw this compass direction. Like say for example, I'll give an example. If you have this graph paper, your squared paper like this, already drawn, you come and draw your, of course using the ruler, you come and draw your compass on the very lines which are there in the graph paper, like that. That makes these lines here to be a bit straight. But when I draw on a plain paper, you may end up drawing something like this, and you may not notice that you have made a mistake. Or someone may draw something like this. I see this is not really straight, but so that's why we recommend you to use a graph paper. And any work which is not drawn on a graph paper, personally, I happen to cross it. So make sure you do this on your graph paper, and where you draw a compass must be the starting point must be drawn exactly on the line of the squared paper. Those bold lines is where you should start from. Okay, good. Now let's go on. Personally, I don't have a squared paper, but you do that. Now good. So we start. I want to start with the point A. I'll come and say, put here point A. Personally, I'm using this, but for you, please use a long ruler like that. All right, like that, please. Okay, now this is here is north. Now, this is my town A. This is now my town A. Okay, very good. Now, everything starts from A. From A, we are going to B. Which direction? East. And the east is just a straight line. A continuation of this gives us what? A continuation of this gives us the east. But as you're going into the eastern direction, AB, the distances given to us there are 20 kilometers. But 20 kilometers after converting the scale. Please, if you have not given the scale in the question, always get your own scale. All right. So 20 kilometers represents 4 centimeters. So what you do, all right, maybe, since we know that this one is going to be, we can do that line already, eastern direction, no need to measure an angle. Please, I've said you allow me use this ruler to save time, but it is good to use a long ruler like that. Okay, I've drawn mine up to that level. That line I draw it of any length, no problem. Then later I can come and follow the instructions. Now, the 20 kilometer, this one, means 4 centimeters. So what you do, you get your ruler or you get your divider and measure off the 4 centimeters and transfer them. That from A to B, direction is east, but distance is 20 kilometers, which is 4 centimeters. So therefore, you come and measure off the 4 centimeters and put it here. So, and according to mine, all right, so according to mine, this is what I'm going to have. I'll put here, measure and measure and measure. Measure and measure and measure. Okay, great. My 4 centimeters are there. That is according to mine. My 4 centimeters end there. So now that's where town is B is going to be. So now you get your ruler. That's why my 4 centimeters end. According to my ruler, please, you also measure from yours. So this is where town B is. You draw that line like that. This is now our north, and this is now my town B. It must be with that compass. It must be like that compass, intercrossing like that. Okay, then you come and tell them that please, this one here is 4 centimeters. Correct units are highly called for whenever doing a number of bearing. Okay, good. After that, now I have I have point A, point B, town A, town B. They are there. Please, a sketch has it in kilometers, the original units of the question. The actual drawing must always be in centimeters, unless otherwise. All right. Now, from A, again, you see, your sketch tells that. Again, come back to A and bring the C. But how do we get the C? We measure 30 degrees southwest, 30 degrees towards the west from the south. So therefore, I will come. Now, since the angle I want to measure is over here as per the sketch, even my contractor will also face in that order. Even my contractor will also face in that order. Then measure off the 30. 30 from where? 0 marker here. 0, 20, 0, 10, 20, 30. So 30 is here. You put a marking there. 30 is there. Then get your long ruler. Not a contractor, please. Personal use this. Get your long ruler. Then you draw a long line to pass through the 30 and up to where town, midway, the town A. Like that. I hope we are clear there. That's why I tell you to use a long ruler. It's not good again to adjust the ruler to continue with the line. For use a long ruler. Okay, good. Now, there we are. I've drawn. Now, this one is our 30 degrees as per the sketch. Now, from there, what you do, you now need to know where is town C. Town C comes with a certain distance. From here up to here, it is 25, but 25 is the same as 5 centimeters. So if it is 5 centimeters, you as well come and measure off 5 centimeters on this from A. So 5 centimeters on this from A. According to my ruler, please, according to my ruler, that's where it ends. It ends somewhere there. All right, good. Then I'll read my town C there. Okay. So I'll read my town C there. So this will be now. Okay. My town C, I'll read it there exactly. So like this is the north, and this is now my town. That's now my town C. As simple as that. Okay, good. But then, how many centimeters are here? These are 5 centimeters. Please, my ruler is a bit different from yours. They may appear big here, but with yours, it must be genuinely that. So, you measure the real 5 centimeters. All right, good. Now, still, let's now continue. Now, in the question part A, they said draw a diagram showing the 3 towns. We are finished to show the 3 towns. Then part B, find the distance between town C and town B. Find the distance between town C and town B. So find the distance between town C and town B. So the distance between town C and town B. Now, what you do always, if they want the distance between town B and town C, they want the distance between town B and town C. You get a rule and first of all join them. Get your rule and join them. That's what you should begin with. You join those towns they're talking about. So I'll come and join them. Okay, so I've joined town B and town C. Like that. Then let's measure. Let's measure. Please, you can use a divider. You put them, then you transfer on your ruler, or you can just go direct. So measuring from here, this is 0 up to somewhere here. Oh, sorry. So there. That is. It's some legs, okay? Some like 7.8. It is 7.8. So shall say now they shall say that we are now answering part B. Part B shall say that therefore Therefore, okay, the distance between town C and B, the distance between town C and B is, now the distance is 7.8, more like 7.8. Please, the distances here and even angles must be to one decimal place in bearing. So it's 7.8 what? Centimeters. So 7.8 centimeters. But the distance they want here is the real distance. So therefore you come and say it is 7.8 centimeters, but you need to change this back to kilometers. So now that will be 7.8 times 5. What will now be that answer? 7.8 times 5. Get your ruler and please do that multiplication. 7.8. Okay, this is a 7.8 times 5. That is 39 kilometers. Okay, so it will be 39 kilometers. Therefore, this will now give us 39 kilometers. That is according to your drawing. Please, here, these answers are acceptable. 7.7, 7.6, they are all acceptable since this is a scale drawing, or we expect some mistakes from some people. So 7.8 acceptable, 7.9 acceptable, 7.7 acceptable, even 7.6. But of course, each one you get multiplied by the 5. Why 5? It's because in our scale, 1 centimeter represents 5 kilometers. That's why I have to multiply to change. Now, when it comes to scale conversion in bearing, we always divide the distance we have divided by the highest value in the scale. Then whenever you want to convert from centimeters to kilometers, you get the centimeters times the highest value in the scale. That's the simple logic. Okay. Now part C, they're saying, find the bearing of C from B. Find the bearing of C from B. So now here shall we say, the bearing of C from B is, the bearing of C from B is, I told you. Now, whenever they ask for a direction, bearing, course, all those words mean the same thing. Bearing, course, and so on. Now, what you're meant to do is, they want the direction, the bearing of C from B. Now, from B that you're going to stand at B, then you look for where C is. So where is B? B is here. So we look for C, meaning that you start from north, like that. C is in that direction. If you are really super careful. And this that we said as per the angles, see that from here up here is 90, from here up here is 90. What's the total? From here up here it is 180. So therefore the bearing is 180 plus. Then from there, get your ruler and measure the angle from here up to here. Get your ruler and measure the angle from here up to here. And since the angle I want to measure is this side, then even my protractor will look this side. I explained that in lesson 1 and 2. You can go and watch them and see how we go about the measuring. So I'll put there my protractor. Make sure that your protractor, the 90 mark must be in line with this horizontal line. Then from there, this line here must be in line with this one, which goes to the north. Then from there, you can now measure off the angle. So what's the angle there? What is the angle here? Measure, this is 0. Back to this. The angle here, I'm seeing it is a 50. I'm seeing it is a 50 something, okay? 0, 50, 55, 56, 57. I'm seeing that 57, according to mine. So plus 57 degrees. From there, you now add what will be the total there. When you add, you shall get now a 237 degrees. So therefore, the bearing of C from B is 237, as simple as that. You can as well come and put here a 7.8 centimeters, no problem. Okay, and that's also our first scenario. If that comes in an exam, then you'll be ready for your 20 marks. Then another thing which I would want to comment about is, please, here, you realize that what happens is, when you have this, you can as well use geometry. You can use sine rule. We can use sine rule or cosine rule to get anything they will be asking for. But for me, the simplified version is by pound tractor, just like we have done. But even the approach of cosine rule and sine rule, they are also super correct and acceptable.